presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
It's the final game of the homestand, and the Twins have a chance to win this series with the Baltimore Orioles. Incidentally, the final game this year between Baltimore and Minnesota. And welcome to Target Field. I'm Dick Bramer. Roy Smalley filling in for Bert Blyleven one more time. Minnesota Twins winning the first two games of this series, losing a tough ball game last night. But the one constant really through the month of July has been Trevor Plouffe with a nice long hitting streak.
He does have a nice long hitting streak, Dick, 16-gamer. And the thing that I've been really impressed with Trevor through this streak is he kind of made a name for himself early this season. First half hitting a bunch of home runs to left field. But what has been very encouraging is the way he has taken the ball the other way, hit tough pitches to center and right center field. And that shows that he is becoming a real professional hitter, not just a guy that might hit the occasional home run on a cookie pitch in the middle of the plate. So encouraging signs from Trevor Plouffe.
Low-scoring ball game last night. You'd expect defense to be a key in a game like that. But really throughout this series, we've had some big defensive plays at some key times.
And as we've always said, defense wins ball games, and it's been the case in all three games so far. In the first inning Monday night, Ben Revere with a terrific play. Then later on, Denard Span with one of his own. That really set the tone for that game on Monday night. Tuesday, Joe Mauer gets in the act with a terrific play in a big situation. And then last night, maybe the defensive play of the game came from the other guys. Mark Reynolds at first base making a terrific play to take away a bunt sacrifice, and it ended up being maybe the difference in a 2-1 ball game.
So the Twins and the Orioles meet for the last time. Remember back at the very beginning of the season, the Orioles swept the Twins in Baltimore. The Twins hoping to win this series 3-1 when we come back. Minnesota Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards.
On a beautiful day in downtown Minneapolis, the Twins are going to try to win a series here against the Baltimore Orioles at home on Fox Sports North. I'm Robbie Mikowski. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here in the Fox Sports North suite up on the second level down the left field line here at Target Field. And we have a big day today with Game Connect on foxsportsnorth.com. It's a revolutionary interactive tool that's available during all Twins games. Game Connect combines statistical visualizations with conversations on Twitter, and it's a unique way for fans to become involved in the broadcast experience. Now, if you log on to foxsportsnorth.com, go to the search box and type in the words Game Connect, and it'll take you to Game Connect. We've got a bunch of bloggers up here, and I'll be bringing one of them to you in the second inning to talk about that statistical analysis that you can get only on Game Connect on foxsportsnorth.com. It's Cold to Breeze. When we come back, the Minnesota boy taken to the mound, and Dick Raymer and Roy Smalley have your first pitch next.
Cloudy skies here at Target Field, but temperature-wise, the most comfortable it's been throughout this 7-game homestand. And the Twins would love to finish the homestand on a higher note than it started, being swept in 3 games by the Oakland A's. Lost a tough ball game last night, but as losses go, boy, if the Twins lose every loss that they have from here on out, if they lose them 2-1, I think they'd be thrilled to death.
Well, they certainly thrilled to death with pitching performances like they had last night. There's going to come a time when every loss 2-1 would get pretty frustrating, but you bet. So we looked at manager Buck Showalter, Baltimore Orioles.
Orioles still in second place in the American League is Menard's batting order. Nick Markakis leading off. J.J. Hardy hitting second. Then Jim Thome, their designated hitter. Adam Jones, Matt Wieters, Wilson Betemit, Chris Davis, Mark Reynolds, and Ryan Flaherty.
That lineup going up against the Twins, youngster Cole DeVries, up and down record and series of outings so far. He'll be looking to stay out of the upper middle of the zone. He's got to command all of his pitches, but stay out of the upper middle.
Northland Ford defense for your Minnesota Twins. Ryan Domit getting left field. Denard Span in center, Ben Revere in right, Plouffe at third, Dozier at short, Casilla getting the start at second base, Morneau at first, Maurer behind the plate, Josh Willingham in there as a designated hitter, Ron Gardenhire giving him a day off in left field, and Domit, who when he's been in the outfield typically has been in right field, gets his start in left field. And the Twins will enjoy playing in the 77 degrees that are out there now, because the high in Kansas City today is supposed to be 106, and we're expecting the temperatures right around 100 degrees for the 3 games we play at Kauffman Stadium. Nick Markakis has had a good series so far. He'll lead off the first inning.
This guy's a good player, good professional hitter. I really like him, and I've noticed something about his stance now. I don't know if Twins fans and Orioles fans will remember how for the longest time how he held his hands, but it was down near his belt and out away from his body, and he's got him up around his back shoulder. I think that's way better, frankly.
Down and away, ball 1 from DeVries. Markakis, as you saw, with 7 hits. They've all been singles. He's walked a couple of times. And we've talked about how he's not your normal leadoff batter, but he sure has done a great job getting on base for the Orioles. Outside again, 2-0. DeVries coming off his poorest start as a Minnesota Twin. In the Oakland series, the A's cuffed him around. Hit 3 home runs against him, 7 earned runs in 5 innings. And a strike, 2-1.
Well, the one thing Nick Markakis has learned to do, unfortunately for him as a leadoff hitter, is take a 2-0 fastball right down the middle his first time up.
And a breaking pitch down and in, but it's called a check swing strike, 2-2.
Markakis doesn't like the fact that he thought he checked his swing, but for a leadoff hitter at the beginning of the game, as we watch that pitch, and I got to agree with Nick. I think that's not a swing, but we'll take it. 2-2.
Looking right down the line at Chad Fairchild and shaking his head one more time. 2-2. A little pop up to left field. Domet comes in, 1 down. And Markakis looking down the line again at Chad Fairchild shaking his head. Alfonso Marquez getting the plate. Tom Hallion, the crew chief at first. He started the series behind the plate. 1 down. And here's J.J. Hardy.
Yeah, Markakis frustrated on 3 levels there. He doesn't like having to take 2-0, which a leadoff hitter has to do. He didn't like the check swing call. He didn't like the fact that he popped the ball up. So he's starting off frustrated.
Strike 1.
Other than that, he's happy as a clam.
Driven to right center field. Revere hustling and getting there. Quick burst of speed by Ben Revere, taking a bid for an extra base hit away from J.J. Hardy.
Well, that young man can do that, can he? He can run him down. He gets a fairly good jump on this ball, but then the ball's just no match for that speed. If the ball's in the air, he's going to run it down most of the time.
So 2 down, and that'll bring up Jim Thome. Thome making his 2nd start in this 4-game series. In his start the other day, he never put a ball in play. He walked twice and struck out 3 times. Or the other way around, I beg your pardon. He walked 3 times and struck out twice.
He has done plenty of both of those things in his career. It's a testimony really to his ability, willingness, desire to just hit the pitch that he wants to hit and take tough pitches. He's got a good eye at the plate, always has had.
Side. And a foul tip. No, it hit Thome. No, it didn't. Alfonso Marquez said it hit his bat. Thome looked back as if he were hit by the pitch. And Alfonso Marquez says, no, it hit the bat.
Jim said if that ball, he said if that ball would have hit the bat, it would have gone that way. You saw him pointing, and the umpire must have claimed to hit the knob of the bat. And Jimmy's saying if that ball hit the knob of the bat, it would have gone that way, pointing toward the Oriole dugout.
As dangerous as he still is at the plate, I almost wish that it had been ruled a hit batter. Let him go to first.
Well, you know, Jim wasn't going to go to first originally until the umpire said hit the bat. Then he doesn't want the count to be 2-1, so now he's going to argue. But if he calls it 3-0, he'd rather be up there hitting. He doesn't want to go down there on a hit batter. He wants to hit.
In the dirt, 3-1. And Tomey wanted to make sure of the count. Next on the list is Ken Griffey Jr. I want to ask you about that list here. If Tomey takes a walk or doesn't make the third out of the inning, and it's a base hit. So Tomey with a base hit. How many guys do you have on your list? I think every baseball fan, unfortunately, now has their own list. Who's your number one all-time home run hitter?
The Hammer.
Okay, so Bonds is not on your list.
No.
What about A-Rod? And I'm not trying to get you in you know, Reggie Jackson's situation a week or so ago, but
yeah, you know, I think I'm not going to say I'm just not going to make a comment about that specifically, but I would just I have a hard time with the era that we just kind of went through. So let's just put it that way.
Down and away, ball one to Adam Jones. He's homered in each of the last two games. And now DeVries falls behind 2-0.
Cole DeVries does not have drastically different stuff than Scott Diamond, let's say. Other than the fact that he throws with his right hand rather than his left, the difference really has been his command of the strike zone.
Off the glove of DeVries and then into center field. Tomey will go to second base.
And what I mean by that is right there. He doesn't want to throw the ball in the middle of the zone, so he's trying very, very hard to throw curveballs and fastballs around the perimeter of the zone, and he has not been as effective at being able to do that as, let's say, Scott Diamond has been. And so I think it's interesting as we watch this pitch right here, kind of right in the heart of the zone, down just a little bit, but the kind of pitch that a guy like Adam Jones is not going to miss too often. He missed with other pitches and had to come in there. What Cole DeVries has got to be able to do is throw more pitches over the plate, more different kind of pitches over the plate, but right there on the perimeter of the zone, not in the middle. And when he gets in trouble, it's because he pitches for the perimeter, misses, gets behind, and has to come in to the middle of the plate.
One strike to Wieters. Orioles putting together a threat with 2 out. A pair of singles up the middle. Just off the corner, 1-1. Tomey dancing off of second base like he is a threat to go to third.
I just think the image of Tomey dancing is
inside, 2-1.
So here we are. Those are two pretty good purpose pitches. If you want to get Wieters out away, he's come in twice. But here is the critical pitch right here. He probably wants to go away now, and he's got to throw it where he wants to throw it. If he does go away, he's got him set up to go away, but he's got to be able to throw it for a strikeout there.
Fouled away, 2-2.
That's a good pitch. He was down. See, great pitch on the first one, then comes inside to get him thinking in there. Now he wants to come back and go down and away. Really, really nicely done. And that's what he has to be able to do. When you got a guy set up, you've got to be able to throw it where you want it. He did that time. Wieters just fouled that off.
2-2. And then a breaking ball for a swinging strike 3.
Very nicely done.
A couple of 2-out hits do no damage. We'll score after a half. first after a scoreless top of the first inning. Ron Gardenhire back for what he hopes will be a complete game after leaving middle of the game last night because of a stomach ailment. Ready to go to Kansas City after the game. Here's the GMC keys to the game.
The keys, these two guys right here are the table setters at the top of the order, Denard Span and Ben Revere. They've had a terrific series so far. They're going to have one more game, complete the series, complete the good series, get on base for the RBI guys. And as Ron Gardner likes to say, get those guys, let them run around out there.
Span, then Revere. And then Joe Mauer on the Menards batting order, followed by Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Trevor Plouffe, Ryan Doman, Brian Dozier, and Alexi Casilla. And
they will oppose Wei-Yin Chen. Wei-Yin Chen. Got it backwards. Wei-Yin Chen. Young man from Taiwan by way of the Japanese League. And the key to this guy's success, I understand, I haven't seen him a lot, but he's got to control his fastball. Sneaky little fastball, and that's his best pitch. He'll try to throw it on both sides of the plate, and we'll see what the Twins hitters can do about it.
Numbers pretty good, and other than Jason Hamill, who's been emerging as the Oriole ace over the course of the season, now on the disabled list, Chen has been their next best starting pitcher. First pitch fastball, strike one. Coming off a no decision. Chen gave up just one run over 6 innings to the Tigers. On the outside corner, 0-2. Line foul. The roughest start that Chen has had, oddly enough, was against the Indians 4 starts ago. Now, the Indians have been susceptible to left-handed pitching all year long. But Chen gave up 6 earned runs in 6 1/3 innings, a couple of home runs. But other than that, he's given the Orioles a pretty good chance to win in just about every start, 1-2. 7 wins on the season, 5 losses. You saw the ERA. Off the slope of the mound, and it kicks toward Hardy for the first out. Northland Ford defense for the Orioles. They've got Chris Davis out in left field this afternoon. Adam Jones in center. Nick Markakis in right. Wilson Betemit, J.J. Hardy, Ryan Flaherty, Mark Reynolds, with Matt Wieters behind the plate. One gone, and that'll bring up Ben Revere.
Get a pretty good idea of what a pitcher likes to feature from the first hitter when it's left-hander against left-hander and he gets 5 fastballs. I would say the scouting report pretty good. This young man likes his fastball, and it looks to me like we haven't seen a breaking ball yet. If and when we do, it will be because he's trying to set it up off of fastballs, clearly.
Toward the hole, and it'll be a base hit. So Revere hits it to the hole, and Hardy was able to glove it. He could have put it in his back pocket. Revere gets another hit, and he's aboard for Mauer.
Another classic swing by Ben Revere against the left-hander. Let the ball get over the plate, slap it to left, run like mad. J.J. Hardy makes a really, really nice play, and if it had been anybody else, it would have been worth that real good effort. But as you said, Dick, as soon as that ball was hit in that spot, he could have put, if he did catch it, he could just then put it in his pocket. No chance to get Ben Revere.
Here's Mauer. Mauer hitless last night in 4 at-bats. Everybody getting their first look at Wei-Yin Chen as the Orioles are getting their first look at Cole DeVries. squaring the bunt with Betamit in the middle of the infield dirt. You can see Mauer a little bit short of 1,200 hits. We're going to look to pass at least Torrey Hunter, maybe even Gary Gaetti on the hit list this year. And again, Mauer sliding his hand up the bat barrel. 2-0.
I really don't mind this idea by Joe Mauer right here one little bit. Betamit playing way back at third base and against a left-hander. Even though Joe hits left-handers well, he hasn't seen this guy. And if he can push the ball to third base, he's got runners on first and second. That's not a bad idea at all.
A strike, 2-1. Two and one. Revere, of course, a threat to steal with 19 steals in 24 tries.
It's going to take the Twins base stealers a little bit of time. They're going to have to see this guy's move. He'll have a couple of different ones over the first and a couple of different deliveries to the plate. They have to start gauging those.
Two and one to Mauer. And in the dirt, that kicks away from Wieters, but keeps it in front of him, and Revere is stuck at first. 3-1 with Willingham on deck.
Might see Ron Gardenhire let Ben Revere loose right here, 3-1. Chances are Joe's going to get a pretty good pitch to hit. Might get Ben started early.
There he goes, and it's ball 4. So a single, now a walk, 2 aboard for Josh Willingham. Chen is in this country for the first time, and Tim Lauder, that presents a bit of a challenge for the Orioles, doesn't it?
Yeah, we got a little problem down here today, fellas, because our pitcher doesn't speak any English, and between a shortstop and a catcher, the two guys that need to communicate with him the most, we got a little problem.
There's some universal terms in baseball, though, aren't there, Timmy?
Yes, there certainly are, and thank God for that, right, Roy?
Yeah, you know what? When I point to my chest and point at you in the back of my chest, that means I've got you on the comebacker. Right here, throw it to me.
Willingham homered again last night. The only Twins run in a 2-1 loss. Revere goes to third. Wieters throw, not fielded by Betamit. It hit him in the left leg. So Revere takes off, and had Betamit caught the ball, Revere would have been a dead duck.
Didn't get a great jump at all, and Wieters comes out there firing. Betamit just clanked it. I mean, just flat missed it. I do believe Ben would have been out, and but it's what happens when you got a guy like that running all the time. It puts so much pressure on everybody. We've seen that a lot when Revere has gone to third. We've seen either third baseman not catch it or the catcher throw the ball in the dirt. And times when he would have been out, turns out to be safe. He did catch Joe Mauer by surprise, though. Joe did not go to second base on the steal.
Willingham takes a strike. Leaders with the catch, throwing it behind Willingham.
Yeah, that's a really good fundamental play. Tim Lauder knows all about that play right there. That's really quick, getting behind the right-hand hitter and throw. I mean, you talk about throwing the ball on the bag. Terrific play by the catcher.
Toward the hole, through for a hit. Revere will score, and Bauer checks in at second. So Willingham, who doesn't hit many ground balls, in fact, he's only grounded into 6 double plays this year, hits it on the ground through the hole, and the Twins take the first lead. And now Morneau with 2 men aboard.
Well, Josh got the ball right there where he wants it, in the middle of the plate, a little bit in. He's going to left field with that. He hit over the top of it a little bit, but hit it hard enough and in the right spot to get it through, driving another run. I'm saying in the open, it's just been amazing to me how many times when Josh Willingham, a power hitter, gets his pitch, he does not miss it. You don't see him swing and miss or foul it back. He puts it in play hard somewhere going toward left field most of the time.
Breaking ball over, strike one. Twins had a chance to bust the game open late in the game last night. Morneau up with the bases loaded and lefty Troy Patton on the mound. And Patton got him to ground out to end the threat. Now in the first inning, 2 men aboard with 1 out. Lefty against lefty. 0-2. But we've seen fastballs 88, 89, and then on that one 93.
Yeah, very effective fastball, looks to me like, and he also has a little bit of a deceptive delivery. He long arms behind his back and then short arms its delivery coming forward. You see his arm will go back and then short arm right from the shoulder. That's sneaky.
Another fastball up and away just off the plate, 1-2.
He's got a very, very smooth deliveries. His arm goes back behind. You see it go back behind his body. Looks like he's going to long arm the ball, and then he brings it up to his shoulder and zips it. Smooth and zip.
And foul back. Another low 90s fastball.
Yep. You can see how smooth it is. The arm goes way back. You don't see the ball. And then a little bit of a short arm. That's nice follow through. Good mechanics right there. Bert Blyleven would like this young man's balance point. How his release looks like his release point is the same all the time.
1-2. Inside Bert, by the way, I think right now somewhere in the air over the state of Virginia on his way from Florida to Cooperstown for the induction ceremonies to be held on Sunday. 2-2 to Morneau. Foul back. 21 pitches already thrown by Wei-Yin Chen. Talking about, what he's done lately. 3 starts ago in Seattle, he took a perfect game into the 7th inning. And folks in Seattle were probably wondering, oh boy, here we go again after Philip Umber completed a perfect game at Safeco Field. And a slow breaking ball. Morneau strikes out, and that'll bring Plouffe to the plate with 2 away.
Well, that's just a real quality pitch from a left-hander against a left-hand hitter, showing him all fastballs all around the zone, coming in on him, and then throwing a breaking ball in a perfect spot, and a breaking ball at a different speed than the one Justin saw for the first pitch. And that's every bit as important, too. Tough to, as a hitter, you can recognize the breaking ball. You saw it on the first pitch, and you think you have it timed, but it's a little different speed this time, and he was out in front of it.
Plouffe hitting an even 300 against left-handed pitchers. 16-game hitting streak. Ball 1. At the rate his batting average is climbing, the number 300 isn't out of reach for him if he continues to pick up hits. the rate he's been getting them. To the left field corner. Down for a hit. Mauer will score. Willingham to third. He'll hold up there. It's an RBI double for Plouffe. His 38th run batted in, and it's 2-0 Twins.
Good job by Trevor to get a run driven in there. And he's been struggling a little bit with guys in scoring position, guys on base. Looked like that ball got in on him just a little bit. Down toward the label just a little, but he hit it in the perfect spot. He was working with Joe Vavra to try to get the bat hit out in front a little bit. He didn't quite get it there, but enough there to get the ball down the line and drive in a run.
Here's Doman with 2 men in scoring position. Down low, ball 1. Doman, a more productive switch hitter from the left side. Coming up in a big spot here in the first inning today. At the knees, 1-1.
One thing we've seen for Shore so far from the home plate umpire Alfonso Marquez is that low strike fastball is going to be in play. He's calling it down there, which actually is good for both pitchers, Cole DeVries especially. So I don't mind a guy, if I'm sitting over as the pitching coach Rick Anderson or manager Ron Gardenhire, and I'm seeing the home plate umpire calling the low strike. I got a bunch of good low ball hitters on my team, and I like it for my pitcher right there, Cole DeVries.
Swings through the breaking ball. That's 1-2.
Hitters are just going to have to make that adjustment. They're all sitting around watching. A couple of them have had that low strike called on them, but the other guys are seeing it, and they can't be surprised now. Anybody that hasn't hit yet can't be surprised by a low fastball being called a strike.
And another breaking ball got him. So a couple of strikeouts in the inning featuring his breaking pitch. But the Twins get 3 hits and a couple of runs in the first.
Robbie and Smikowski hanging out here in the suite where we are talking about Game Connect, where you can log on through foxsportsnorth.com, click on the Game Connect link on the top of the page, and we're talking about how there's a lot of statistical analysis, and joining me to talk about it is Bill Parker, who's a blogger for the Platoon Advantage. Bill, you guys are into the deep and the advanced sabermetrics and stuff like that, but we don't go that deep on Game Connect. But how is the statistical analysis and the social media chat on the website?
You know, it's really good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here for following in game. I mean, you don't necessarily need to have all the advanced stats when you're actually following the game. And what they've got here is it's going to update with every pitch, and it's great for tracking a lot of the pitcher stats, the pitch count versus his average pitch count. There's all sorts of information on here it just updates, like I said, with every pitch throughout the game. So it's a really useful tool.
Thanks, Bill. So, Dick and Roy, so fans at home logging on, you can follow along statistically to what's going on here on the field and track that Cole DeVries strikeout of Wilson Betemit.
Well, thank you very much, Robbie. Second strikeout for DeVries. He takes care of Betemit, and now will face Chris Davis.
Got him on slow stuff 3 in a row. He threw him a slider, a changeup, and then a slow curveball. Very slow curveball, 73 miles an hour. Betemit obviously looking for his fastball the whole time up, just never got it.
Chris Davis, the batter. You know, one thing DeVries has done in his brief Twins career, he's handled leads pretty well. Now, in his prior starts before the Oakland one, there were things just obviously didn't go well. He's either won the game. Here's a drive to deep right field. The Twins lead is cut in half. A long home run to right off the bat of Davis. He's either won the game or he's pitched well enough to win, giving the Twins a chance to win. Davis hitting his 15th of the year, and it's 2-1. And again, it's the home run ball. That's what really stung DeVries in the Oakland start.
That's a dangerous pitch right there. Something off speed. For the first time a guy's ever seen a pitcher, it really is kind of a dangerous pitch to throw him a change of speed because he hasn't seen the speed yet. You know, and so it's hard to fool a guy with a changeup when you haven't seen anything to change off of yet. And he threw it up high enough where it just didn't fool Chris Davis. Davis is a good hitter. Swings the bat very well against right-handed pitching. Strong guy.
And from the right side, so is Mark Reynolds. 2-0. DeVries falling behind a lot of hitters here in the first couple innings. That's to left. And Doman there for the catch out number 2. So it's a 2-1 ball game. That was our final score last night. And another one-run win for the Orioles. The type of game that winning teams tend to win. Just looking through the Oriole record, that's the 8th game the Orioles have won this year when they've scored only 2 runs. Now that sounds like a pretty big number. And it's certainly a bigger number than the one game that the Twins have won this year when they've scored just 2 runs. So you want to explain away statistically why the Orioles are above 500, and well, they've won some low-scoring ball games that, of course, the Twins haven't been able to win because their starting pitching has been so disappointing.
It just is all about pitching in this game. I mean,
I'm glad to hear you say that because the other guy who normally sits there, I'm not sure he's the most objective guy to make that statement, but this one hit deeper to left field. Doman back short of the track, makes the catch, and DeVries gets out of the inning with just the 1 run allowed. 2-1 Twins as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Twins getting a couple of runs. Trevor Plouffe extending his hitting streak to 17 games. And Brian Dozier will lead things off in the second. Dozier, Casilla, and Span. And then Revere. The Twins have some speedy hitters due up here. Hopefully they'll all hit in the second inning. I'll pass along our congratulations to Bill Lester, stepping down as the executive director of the Metropolitan Sports Facilities Commission. 25 years at the job. There's some interesting times, shall we say, in terms of sports facilities in this marketplace. Bill, a good man, and he's a high fly to deep left center field. Chris Davis is over there. Out number one. Bill stepping down, stepping into retirement. We wish him nothing but the best. Next home game coming up a week from tomorrow, and it's a fireworks game presented by Metro Dental Care. Twins in Cleveland meeting at 7:10 that night. Fireworks will follow, and tickets are available at 833-TWINS or twinsbaseball.com. Dozier done. Here's Casilla. And Casilla pops it foul. And out of play. Wei-Yin Chen looking for his 8th win of the year. Because the Orioles have had 14 losing years in a row, you wouldn't expect them to have any 20-game winners along that stretch. Nice catch. Chen getting up high and taking the first hop from Casilla, one away. The last 12-game winner for the Orioles was 5 years ago when Eric Bedard did.
Good play here by Wei-Yin Chen. He's a good athlete. They say he bounces around the mound, fields his position very well, which is one of the 3 things you have to do besides have good stuff to be a successful pitcher. The other 2 being holding runners on and throwing strikes, not walking people.
We saw how valuable that was last night in that 2-1 ball game. Tommy Hunter admitted he just got lucky on the one smash off the bat of Revere. Just put the glove down and the ball found the glove, but after that made a nice play on Revere's bunt. Foul back, 1-1.
But you know, the other thing that he did very well, speaking of Tommy Hunter, last night, is once he did get lucky and the ball found his glove, he turned around and threw a strike to the shortstop to start the double play. And you see pitchers a lot of times not starting that play with a good throw, which can throw everything off. So he did a nice job on that. That was a big play in the ballgame.
I wonder what the success rate is in that. A comebacker to the mound. It seems like at least a third of the time the play in one way, shape, or form is screwed up.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was wondering that the other day too. I wonder what the actual percentage is.
Big pop up behind first, and Reynolds makes a fair ball catch. A 1-2-3 second inning for Wei-Yin Chen. not the Pirates, but a Pirate in town.
Oh, it's Jack Sparrow. Holy cow.
Cast your vote for the Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234234. All position players. We'll see if Cole DeVries can put a few zeros up here. Maybe secure some votes. Here's Nick Markakis leading off the third. Strike on the outside corner.
Cole DeVries now has faced, this is his 10th batter. He gets ahead there. We were talking about how important it is to get ahead, to throw strikes. When he went ball one, hitters, the first 9 hitters were 3 for 5 against him in the first 2 innings. When he went strike one, 0 for 4. I mean, that's just in a microcosm of 2 innings. I mean, that just kind of sums up how important it is to get ahead of hitters.
Drill to center.
Of course, it doesn't matter to Markakis right now because he is just on fire.
Span cuts it off nicely and delivers a perfect one-hop throw, holding Markakis to his 8th single of this series.
Real good hitting here by Nick Markakis. Ball down is actually a good pitch. But as most left-hand hitters are, down and preferably in, kind of right in the wheelhouse. And Markakis is so hot right now that that's a ball that makes his eyes get big when he sees that.
Here's Hardy lined out to Ben Revere in right center field his first time up. Bunted in the air, foul. Hardy trying to, at the very least, get Markakis up to second base. Been a tough go for Hardy in the middle months. Very time period a year ago where he emerged as one of the best hitting shortstops in the American League, and he started hitting the skids in June, and that's carried over deep into July now. 1 strike. And he gets another hit here. Dropping one in front of Domet. Markakis will hold up at second. So the tying run at second, nobody out. 2 men aboard now for Jim Thome. You can send us a question at carsoup.com/baseball. Robert Radomski of Elm Grove, Wisconsin, wondering why players don't use the flip down sunglasses anymore. For fans who don't know, they used to wear glasses, and the lenses could be flipped up or down depending on whether the sun was out or behind a cloud.
Well, it was more, those flip down glasses were more, and those are the kind that I wore. Justin Morneau is wearing them on the field today. Most everybody has gone, as you see Justin, those are up because he wants the natural light. He wants to look at the ball in the natural sunlight, not through shaded lenses. If the ball goes up in the sun, he'll flip the glasses down if he needs to get the brightness out of his eyes.
To left center field. Span glides over, makes the catch, and Thome is retired.
But the other part of the answer to that question is that guys more and more now are wearing glasses all the time. They take their Oakleys or whatever they are out there and they just wear them all the time. I've even seen catchers wear them underneath the mask. I've seen guys go up to the plate with them on, and I can't believe that. That was not something that I would have wanted to do, but guys are getting used to playing the game through shaded lenses at all times now.
I always thought they were very functional. I never wore them, but I thought they were just a great idea because Morneau now, if the sky is opened up just a little bit, he might leave the glasses up, sunglass part of them up, but then if there's a pop-up, he can just go up and flip them down as he looks up into the sky.
Right, that's my point. That's how you use those things. Absolutely.
But you'll see players now with the sunglasses on the brim of their cap, and the ball gets hit in the air, they won't take the time to take the glasses off and slide them on. Inside. It'd be a great idea always thought it'd be a great idea just for driving a car. If you're going on a long drive and you can flip them up and flip them down. 2-0. Dangerous hitter and Adam Jones at the plate. Tying run at second, one away. Sticks one on the outside corner.
I will say that probably more people have the ability to take sunglasses on and off in the car than they do running after a fly ball. As you see, Cole DeVries nip the outside corner.
But you know, to me, you'd look like a ball player if you were driving your car and you had the flip-up sunglasses.
Yeah, you would.
Another one on the outside corner. 2-2.
Now here's where Cole DeVries has gotten better against Adam Jones than he's been oftentimes. An ability to get behind 2-0 and come back, having to throw fastballs for strikes, but having it be in the perimeter of the zone, not in the middle. Two really good pitches to get himself back into the at-bat, into the count against Adam Jones.
Three and two.
Good try. He had a good chance of getting Adam Jones to chase that one right there.
Jones has not walked in this series. In fact, he hasn't walked much at all this year. Only 18 walks on the season. And so we'll see what happens here on 3 and 2. A, whether he swings away, and then, you know, what do you do with the runners here? Do you send them with Markakis at second, Hardy at first?
I would not with this follow-up. We'll see what Buck does.
There they go, and the pitch punched into short center field. Span with the catch, out number 2. And that'll bring up Wieters. DeVries will give up hits, and he'll give up a lot of fly balls. He's not a ground ball pitcher. Already in the ball game, he's had 6 fly ball outs. Struck out Wieters swinging on a breaking pitch to wrap up the first inning. You probably went through it as a switch hitter. One year you hit better from one side of the plate than the other, but I'm sure you never wanted to have the spread that Wieters has. No. 150-point difference. He's been a much less effective hitter from this side of the plate.
And that's really kind of surprising. Most of the time, switch hitters are better left-hand hitters.
And there's DeVries living on the outside corner to a left-handed batter.
Boy, he pitched really, really well to Adam Jones to get him out after falling behind 2-0. 3 really, really good pitches on the outer and lower part of the perimeter of the strike zone. Now trying to do the same thing against Wieters to get out of this inning. Perfect.
Back to DeVries. And he pitches out of the jam, stranding a couple of runners. The inning started with 2 singles, and it finishes with 2 men left on base. Minnesota Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. 2-1, Twins in front, trying to win the series 3-1. Ben Revere will lead off the third inning. Looks to me, having seen Revere now for parts of 2 seasons, that he'd be a tough guy to pitch to.
I think you have to pitch Ben Revere in now and make him prove to you that he can handle the ball in. It says in under his hands 273, up and in 296. But I have to tell you, if you throw the ball out over the plate to him like that, that's a 350 type of batting average for him, hot zone spot for Ben Revere. That's why I just think you have to try to come in, make him prove that he's going to be able to handle the ball in, because he really does want to hit the ball to center field and left, as he should.
This will be Revere's 258th plate appearance on the season. Checks his swing, and it's 2-1.
When we were looking at that hot zone, it said 273 in under his hands, 290 something up and in, and there are degrees to that hot zone too. And I think right on the corner or just in off the plate, it wouldn't be that high for him. The batting average wouldn't be that high. I think he, as every hitter, but especially guys that want to hit the ball the other way, the ball in under his hands, he's going to have a little bit of trouble with it.
And Revere strikes out. Rarely do you see him go down on strikes. 1 down.
There was that Chen sneaky fastball. He had thrown him a breaking ball, thrown him inside, thrown him a breaking ball, and then just, I think Ben just had a little bit of a brain cramp right here. He wasn't sure what he was looking for, and the ball got on him before he was really ready to hit.
Mauer walked and scored in the first inning. Mauer second in the American League in hitting now at 329 as expected. Paul Konerko's dropped back to 322. Miguel Cabrera a couple of points behind Mauer, and everybody of course chasing the super rookie Mike Trout. Inside 2-1. Excuse me, 1-1. Mauer leading the American League in on-base percentage by a point coming into play today over the disabled David Ortiz. Here's a drive to center, and Jones goes back for the catch, out number 2. 2 down. That'll bring up Josh Willingham. Tim Laudner, we got 2 all-star catchers in this series.
Yeah, it's a pretty good opportunity for our viewers to see 2 all-star catchers, 2 very, very good catchers that share a lot of similarities. One of which is that they're both much taller than the prototypical type catchers, but yet are able to still do a really good job of moving their feet. They're both good throwers. They're both good hitters. Joe's just a hair bit older than Matt Wieters, but it's a good opportunity for our viewers to see two of the finest catchers in the American League.
Lazy fly ball to right, and Markakis puts it away, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Wei-Yin Chen. to target field and a wide-angle view from our GoPro shot. Twins hit the airport, head to the airport after the game today, and will fly to Kansas City. 3 games there, and then on to Chicago for 3 games. We move to the 4th inning, and Wilson Bet-A-Meat facing Cole DeVries. And a strike over the inside corner. DeVries rather quickly worked over Bet-A-Meat, leading off the 2nd inning, striking him out swinging.
3 off-speed pitches. Starts into the fastball here. See where he goes from there. There's back to the changeup. Actually, that fastball and the first ball pitch, a pretty good pitch, pretty good strategic plan, I think. Throw a guy 3 breaking balls. It looks really, really bad. Maybe show him 1 fastball and go back to the slow stuff.
Change up and no swing. 2-1. 50 pitches for DeVries as he works against the Orioles in the 4th inning. That's kind of DeVries' pattern. With the exception of the start he had in Texas. DeVries usually into the 90 range in terms of pitches through 6 innings. 3-1. And that one missing very high, and a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning. This week in Fox Saturday Baseball, it'll be a battle for first place in the American League Central with the surging Tigers taking on the White Sox. At Comerica Park, Fox Saturday Baseball telecast presented by Budweiser ends at 2:30 Central Time, only on Fox. As we begin play today, the Tigers are wrapping up their series with the Angels as we speak. The White Sox will play at Fenway Park tonight. Swing and a miss. Tigers 2.5 games behind Chicago in the American League Central. Cleveland 3 games back. Chris Davis cranked out a home run his first time up. DeVries pitched around a couple of singles to start the 3rd inning. Now he'll try to pitch around a leadoff walk. Foul tip, strike 2. Orioles out hitting the Twins 5-3, but the Twins got all 3 of their hits when they scored their 2 first inning runs. Left up high, and a half swing, no swing by Davis. There's a saying in sports, sometimes it's not who you play, but when you play them. And the Twins played the Orioles at the very beginning of the season when they were really fired up, pitching, playing well, certainly better than the Twins were. They won all 3 games. Now not so much. The Orioles come into this series having lost 5 of their last 7 series. Foul back, and they need a win today to get a split in this series.
And we've actually kind of seen evidence by the Orioles of how they've been gotten to the point where they've been struggling so much. They haven't played great defense. They didn't pitch particularly well the first 2 ball games, and they continue to struggle with hitting with men on base. And that's pretty much a prescription for how not to win ball games.
One and 2 to Davis. 2-2. Well, the Twins have committed too many errors to suit their taste, and they've committed 55 on the season. The Orioles have committed a major league high 79 errors. Now, if the 55 are too many errors, then half again as many on the Orioles side. 2-2. To the left field corner and drifting back into the seats. Alex Alex Avila at Comerica Park against Jerome Williams. And Avila goes oppo into the bullpen area and an early lead for the Tigers. Important start for Williams. Remember, in his last start, he was taken out because of having some shortness of breath, and they ran a whole battery of tests. And he's back on a big league mound for the first time today. Another 2-2 to Chris Davis. Just missed.
Oh, that's a good
the inside corner.
That's a really good pitch. It looks like it might have been a little bit inside. We'll see what Fox Tracks tells us here. Just inside.
Fox Tracks brought to you by Window Concepts of Minnesota. As Tom Kelly explained when he was here earlier in the homestand, DeVries just missed the one spot.
And now he's going to try for the 4. No, he's coming back in again.
And gets a strikeout. One away. So he came right back in there, and Davis didn't react like he was expecting it in there.
He threw it down underneath the zone this time, down where left-handers like to hit it, but not quite that low. This example, I think, of a hitter kind of getting himself out. And we talked about that a number of times with guys like Josh Willingham, who does such a good job of not doing that. Jim Thomey's another example. Making a pitcher throw a pitch where you want to swing at it.
Reynolds got a fly ball to left his first time up. Generous outside corner is called. That looked outside, but it's 1-1. Reynolds a big strikeout guy. In fact, as you look at the Oriole lineup, they've got a lot of guys that strike out a lot. Robert Andino is on the disabled list, and he might not make the century mark in terms of strikeouts. But before he got hurt, the Orioles were on pace to have 6 guys, 6 regular players in triple digits in strikeouts.
You know, that's the other problem that the Orioles are going to run into over the course of a season, a full season. Even though they were hot early, they pretty much live by the sword and die by the sword. They win games when they hit the ball out of the ballpark, and they don't win games so much when they don't do that. We've seen that in evidence here in this series with the leads that they have taken. One of which they held were on home runs by Adam Jones.
2-2.
But a team that hits a lot of home runs at the same time it strikes out an awful lot and doesn't. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they don't hit the ball hit very well with runners in scoring position. And it's tough when you don't have a lot of other ways to score runs other than the long ball. That makes it really tough. The Twins have added 2 things this year to their arsenal that have really, really helped them. They're hitting more home runs, and they've got guys at the top of the order that can steal bases, and that's really helped the Twins become much more consistent run scorers.
Full count now to Reynolds. Reynolds' next strikeout will be his 80th. Davis just struck out for the 90th time. Got a meat stays put and a call third
There's
strike.
that low fastball strike. He's been calling it. Good pitch.
So there is strikeout number 80 for Reynolds, 2 away in the 4th inning.
Well, plate umpire's been calling this pitch all game, and it's right on the bottom rim of the zone.
Our Circle Me Burt fans today are Sandra and Vern Whitbeck, who are up here in the booth. And Vern, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And if you don't mind us saying so, this gentleman here to our right has turned 90 today. And boy, I hope I look that good when I'm 70.
I'm telling you what, that's
congratulations. The truth. 1 strike to Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty with a fly to left his first time up. Finally, a ball put in play to short left field. Dozier chasing it. Basket catch to end the inning. Good play by Brian Dozier. And it's a scoreless top of the fourth for Cole DeVries.
Here we are at Target Field, and I am in the Minnesota State Lottery Winner's Circle, where I have $100 right here in Minnesota State Lottery tickets for the Yulin twins, Dick and Roy. How about this? They're 79 years of age. This is June, and this is Joanne right here. They're from Houston, Minnesota. Dick, we'll have you identify that in just a moment. But June here, you score every Minnesota Twins game. Now, I'm watching you doing today's game, and you have a copy from the game on Monday that you did. How long have you scored Minnesota Twins games for, June?
Oh, I've done it for about 5 years.
5 years, every game for 5 years. You don't miss one?
I haven't missed any. Oh, I don't think I've missed any.
You don't think you missed any? That is very impressive, Dick and Roy. Houston, Minnesota, it's our birthday present here. 79 years of age, enjoying some baseball and scoring the game to boot.
Well, thank you very much. Boy, you talk about examples of aging gracefully. The Yulin twins and our guest up here in the booth, just tremendous, with Vern turning 90 today. Here's Justin Morneau leading off the fourth inning. Houston, Minnesota, by the way, down about as southeastern as you can get and still be in the state of Minnesota. A little bit east of Rushford and a little bit north of Caledonia. Or probably the best marker. Here's Morneau dropping one into center field. Just about straight south of Money Creek, Minnesota. Leadoff single for Morneau, and now Plouffe will come up.
Here's a good play by a shortstop going into short left field. Brian Dozier getting back to the ball, making a nice basket catch. And he's saying, thank goodness he caught that. I wanted out of the inning.
He's saying, why didn't he have those pop-up sunglasses looking up into the bright sky? That's what he was saying. Got the eye black. Now that's changed too. Dozier's got the with Plouffe standing in the box here. Dozier's got the stick eye black. They have peel-off stickers now that some players will use. But you're old enough. You're so old. You probably used the old burnt cork, didn't you?
Absolutely. We had burnt cork. We had the grease that you see Justin and Brian Dozier and Trevor all with the grease black.
2 strikes.
They also have the stick-ons.
Now that stuff actually works, right? I mean, if you put it under your eye.
And you know what? It's this kind of day. A lot of times with the cloud cover that we have, there's a lot of glare off the clouds. The light is being bounced around, and so that does tend to get the glare out of your eyes.
2 strikes to Plouffe. Fouled it back. See, I think it'd be a great idea to have that when you're driving the car. the eye blind. Just put it under your eyes.
Yeah, the problem is that every time you flip down the glasses, it would get some of that grease on it, and then
That's true.
you know, then you'd flip it up, and then you'd have it down another time, and you'd get black circles under your eyes when you didn't mean to.
2 strikes again to Trevor Plouffe. Ooh, just missed the corner. 1 and 2.
And just missed the low end of that strike zone that Marquez has been wanting to call down there.
Well, it's time for Plouffe to hit a home run. He hasn't hit one for a while. You've seen Willingham jump ahead of him by 4 in the home run department. 2 and 2.
Now that's a pretty amazing statement too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Something I didn't think I was going to be saying in
You
April.
probably didn't think you were saying that past the halfway point, Willingham has jumped ahead of Trevor Plouffe by 4 home runs.
Plouffe's last home run on July 3rd in Detroit. Pulled the string and got him. So Plouffe gone, 1 away. Get an inside look at the Wild on Becoming Wild, Chapter 2. Every Tuesday and Thursday on FoxSportsNorth.com. See exclusive footage of a day in the life for the Wild organization. Log on to FoxSportsNorth.com for Becoming Wild, Chapter 2. Here's Ryan Doman. Struck out on a breaking pitch to wrap up the first inning. Takes a fastball, strike 1. Ooh, got him in the hand. And he'll go to first and send Morneau to second. That sounded bad. Doma, of course, tough as nails, goes to first and acts as if nothing happened.
This does make a splat of a sound. It looks like it got right on the forearm bone. Yep, right there on that bone. That's going to be sore.
That's right where it was a Willingham last night got hit there, didn't he? Right arm.
Right forearm.
Here's Dozier, a fly ball to left his first time up.
That ball would have hit Don Baylor in the back of the ribs.
Dozier takes inside ball 1. I've told you this before. You're good friends with Don Baylor. He was always a guy who got hit by a pitch a lot. Always felt sorry for the baseball.
I'm telling you, that was a big, strong, muscular man. He used to stand right over the plate, wanted the ball in, dared the pitcher to throw it in there. And if the pitcher came in and hit him, he'd just spit on it and trotted down to first.
This one looped to right. Markakis plays it on a hop, and Dozier flares one to right to fill the bases. So they're loaded up for Alexi Casilla.
Good job of base running here, actually, by Ryan Doman. This is a tough play when you're on first base. Dozier keeps his hands back, ball away, breaking away from him. He stays with it, hits it off the end of the bat a little bit, but has enough to flare it in. But you see Doman right there. He's got to read as quickly as he can. If he's not close enough to second base, Markakis can throw him out there. But if he gets too far and Markakis makes a good shoestring catch, he can get doubled off. So that's a tough play to read.
Check swing and a foul. 1 strike to Casilla. Big at bat for the Twins second baseman. He hit a chopper, he thought, over the mound, but Chet made a nice fielding play to throw him out in the second. Bases full of Twins. 1 out. The Twins up 2-1. On the outside corner. Twins got their 2 runs in the first inning, but Chen did a nice job stranding 2 men in scoring position that inning. And a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings, and now a threat here in the 4th.
And you can see the effects of Chen's sneaky fastball. I just haven't seen a right-handed hitter yet really looked like he felt comfortable on a fastball.
And that's flared into the seats.
We've seen a lot of guys start to swing, and the ball appears like it's gotten on them a lot quicker than they expected. It's not that he's throwing that hard that it would that he's overpowering guys. I mean, 89 to 93 is, it's quick but not overpowering fast, and I think his fastball is really sneaky.
2 strikes to Casilla. Chopped wide of third. When Chen got out of his jam with 2 runs allowed in the first inning, he did so by striking out Morneau and Domet. Domet's strikeout, a particularly key one for Chen because it came with 2 men in scoring position. Plouffe had just doubled in a run. Now he's trying to strike out Casilla for the second out of the inning. That's a flare down the line, foul. So a slow breaking ball, and Casilla was able to flip it foul.
Alexi battling the best he can. He's seeing fastballs on both sides of the plate. He's seeing a little breaking ball. Not sure what he's going to get, and when you get a hitter in a situation when you really don't know, that's when a sneaky fastball that like Chen's is really, really effective.
2 strikes to Casilla. To deep right, and Markakis has to retreat.
That's a nice job of hitting by Alexi right there. Really, really good.
Tagging from third and scoring is Morneau. And Domet advances to third. So in a deep hole against a guy who's shown the ability to strike people out, and Casilla hits one deep enough to make it 3-1.
Nice job by Alexi. He fought off a lot of pitches that he couldn't handle and finally got one out over the plate a little bit where he could. I had the feeling that if Chen had come in on him, he'd have beaten him, but he went away. Alexi able to go that way and get the run. That's a big run and a real good at bat.
So the Twins lead by 2 again. That'll bring up Span. A bouncer to short and a pop up to first. First pitch fastball to cut the plate in half. And Chen in his last start pitched 6 innings against the Tigers and gave up just 1 run. Threw a career high 108 pitches. He's behind third base. Davis near the line with his sunglasses on makes the catch to end the 4th. Twins add a run and it's 3-1. nice cooler summer afternoon. A lot of kids here, a lot of school groups here. Great to see everybody here at Target Field. Robbie Smikowski, Tim Wagner, Roy Smalley, and Dick Bramer. Twins hoping to finish this homestand with a 3-4 mark, which isn't great, but when the homestand starts 0-3, that's not so bad.
You bet.
Nick Markakis leading off the fifth.
Taking 3 of 4 from the Orioles would be a real good comeback and get him started. Real good friend of mine on the road trip.
Markakis single, got as far as second base his last time up, and he takes low, ball 1. The inside corner. Freeze has given up 5 hits, but so far just the 1 run on the Davis home run. Up and in, 2-1. Markakis, with the exception of this year, has always been a really durable player. He had some surgery in the off season, and then of course had the hamate surgery within the season. Just came back a little while ago from that. Fly ball to left, hanging up there for Domit. 1 down. At every Twins game, businesses of all sizes host their employees and clients for a fun day or night of baseball. An invitation now to offer your business that opportunity. The Twins are an inexpensive and simple way to entertain, a setting your employees and clients will be sure to enjoy. Organize your group of more than 25 today by calling 833-TWINS and ask about a Twins Target Field group outing. Here's J.J. Hardy. A liner to right and a single to left. Ball 1. Breaking ball that hits the outside corner. Tap foul, 1-2.
You know, watching J.J. Hardy, it's hard to fathom him hitting 218 and him being as having as much trouble as he has against right-handed pitching, especially. And I just have to think that when a guy like JJ hits a bunch of home runs and gets in a streak where, because he certainly has a lot of life in his bat, hits a bunch of home runs, it gets in his mind that he needs to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and that's one of the first things that will get a guy in a slump.
And that'll reach the seats.
Trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark is really kind of a killer for a hitter. Certain guys like Josh Willingham have a very simple swing and the ability to maintain that focus on what they have to do to send the ball toward the pull field, long toward the pull field. But for most of us, J.J. Hardy, I think, would be in this category. It's if you get in your mind that to be successful, you have to hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's a tough mindset when you're going up there to hit against big league pitching.
Well, people, raised an eyebrow when Hardy stepped up and hit 30 last year, but some of that can be explained by the fact that he was hitting his home runs at Camden Yards and not trying to hit them here. This was and will always be a tougher ballpark to hit home runs in than Camden Yards. 1-2 to Hardy. Just off the corner. Good attempt by DeVries. Missing the corner, but missing away.
Really good attempt. It looked like it could have been called a strike. Maybe if it was a little lower, he might have gotten the call. It looked like a good pitch to me. Just outside.
2-2.
It shouldn't be that much of a surprise that JJ hit a bunch of home runs because he hit a bunch one year for Milwaukee as well.
There's a drive to deep left center field. Span with the catch. I've been fooled a couple of times today. I don't know whether it's because it's cooler, but I've I've had balls going farther than they've actually gone when they've left home plate. 2 down. AT&T trivia. See if I'm fooled by that. Who are the 4 players to collect 1,000 hits in each league? Now, I think they're trying to trap us here by springing this question when Tommy is coming to the plate, because he spent some time with the Phillies. 2 stints with them, actually. Very briefly also with the Dodgers, but I don't think Tomey's part of the answer tonight. We got, what, 3 or 4 parts of the question last night? We got them all.
We got them all.
And so they're trying to humiliate us publicly, and frankly, we don't need any help with that.
I should do that by myself, and I've had plenty of occasions.
Frank Robinson, I'm guessing, is one of them.
That was what I was going to say first. He's kind of a shoe-in, I think.
1-1 to Tomey. And a strike. Jim's so popular among Twins fans. If the score got out to 9-1, I don't think the Twins fans would mind one more time seeing Tomey hit one out. 2-2.
I played with a guy in New York who teammates played with and against him most of my career. I'm going to throw out Dave Winfield as we go to.
Oh, there you go. There's a good one, too. Good inning for DeVries. A couple of lazy fly balls and a strikeout of Jim Thome. Three to 1, Twins in front. It's an Achilles injury that put David Ortiz finally on the disabled list. There's our Sanford Health injury report. They were hopeful for a while of keeping him off the disabled list, but a couple of days after his injury, the Orioles pulled the trigger on it. Ortiz in the final year of his deal with the Red Sox and having a great year. The American League wild card standings showing the Angels in front and the Detroit. You know, and it's interesting looking at that, Roy. I think because it's in baseball circles considered that the American League East is the best division in baseball, and so we've all, well, at least I have, assumed that at least one of the wild card teams would come out of the East. There's Revere with a little short pop up left field. Hardy going out and makes the catch with his flip-up sunglasses down. There we go, right there. Ball was hit in the air. He flipped them down and needed them. One away.
Perfect example of why they're invented. He took them right out of his car, driving in here, and put them on, flipped them down.
One down. You know, it might very well be that by season's end, the division champion, and right now it certainly looks like that'll be the Yankees, they might be the only team out of the East to make the playoff field. You've got another contender in the Central, either Cleveland, Chicago, or Detroit. one of those teams might be in the wild card race, and certainly at least 2 teams in the West, maybe a third with Oakland.
And to your point, as we get into the second half of this, deeper in the second half of the season, when most of the games are going to be played intra-divisionally, you know, the American League East guys are going to be beaten up on each other and not so much on the other.
Bauer drives it to right center field. It's deep to the gap. It won't be caught. Digging for second. Bauer's in with a double. So he's 1 for 2 with a walk. A ringing double off the fence in right center here in the 5th.
Good swing by Joe, looking for the ball from the middle of the plate in, and actually going up there, I think, in his mind to get the bat head out in front. Get Chen's sneaky fastball out of his kitchen there. There you go. Good swing. Good swing. You see him bring his hands in close to his body, so that as his hands go through, the big end is coming with his hands. That's the way you hit an inside pitch.
Here's Willingham, an RBI single his first time up, and he takes a strike at the knees. Willingham grounded a single through the left side of the infield to score Ben Revere in the first inning. Good series for Willingham with 6 hits and a couple of home runs. Inside 1-1.
It's a big run out there. One more run to make it a 3-run lead for the Twins really gives them the upper hand. The Orioles not swinging real well with runners in scoring position. They do hit some home runs. You take the 2-run home run out of play with one more run. It's a big run.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Most power hitters will have a period of time where the home runs will come in bunches, and then they'll tumble into a deep, deep slump for a while. That's just the nature of the business, it seems. And Willingham has avoided that. He's had a couple-week period, and when was it, mid-May, maybe, early June?
Early to mid-May. I remember part of when we went on that road trip to the West Coast.
Yep. And that he was able to condense or compress that slump into just a couple weeks. Maybe one of the signature highlights of his season this year with the Twins.
I think it certainly is that, exactly that, Rick. I think you're right. It is, and we talked about a little bit in the opening of the show, just how consistent he's been at staying with his plan.
Now to center, it's hit pretty well, and Jones going back. Bauer will advance to third base. So Willingham puts it in play solidly and advances Bauer up a base, 2 down.
And a perfect job of running the bases by Joe Mauer. He stayed about 10 feet off of second base just in case the ball got over Adam Jones' head, which is not a likely occurrence. A young man can run him down there in center field. You can see Joe, he takes his lead, he bounces off. Now when the ball's hit, he says that ball's probably going to be caught. He hangs close to second base to see what's developing. When he sees that Adam Jones is about to catch it, he goes back and tags up, gets over to third base. That's the way you run that play, especially with 1 out.
Now Morneau flared a single into left center field and scored his last time up. Up and away, ball 1. Again, nearly the entire left side of the infield is open for Morneau. Half swing, but a strike. Hardy, the shortstop, on the first base side of second base. So if he were to hit what would be a 3-hopper to short, it would be instead a 7-hopper to the left fielder. Foul back, 1-2. Chen trying to strand Mauer at third. There you see the infield shift by the Orioles for Morneau. Off the plate, 2-2.
Justin certainly has the ability to hit the ball to left field, left center. There's a channel from home plate to left center field fence. It's about 30 yards wide, it seems like, up to left center. That's
the outside corner. Chen strikes out Morneau. Strands Bauer at third, and it's still 3-1.
Good ball game to this point in time for the Twins as I am up here in the social media suite tonight. This is Aaron Gleeman, a blogger for Hardball Talk on NBCSports.com. And he just sent out a tweet via Game Connect talking about Cole DeVries and his bounce-back outing. But, Aaron, how do you like the interaction here and the stats that you see on Game Connect on Fox Sports North?
It's pretty great. I mean, I'm sort of a hardcore stat head, and there's a lot of stuff within that for the hardcore, but also just the casual fan, I think, will really like it a lot.
Yeah, so that's kind of the demographic we're going after. As you see Aaron Gleeman's tweet, Cole DeVries with a nice bounce-back start after a rough outing last time, and his stat number stat number there, and how his ERA has gone down to just above 4 to this point in the ballgame, Dick and Roy. So, again, we're going for that casual fan that wants to be involved with stats and also keep track while you're watching the ballgame. It's a great place to do it. FoxSportsNorth.com, and just click on the Game Connect tab at the top of the page.
3-1, Twins in front. Adam Jones leading off the 6th inning, facing Cole DeVries. DeVries has sent down 6 men in a row. A breaking ball off the plate. DeVries has not given up a base hit since Hardy's single, with nobody out in the 3rd. The only man to reach since then. Benamit's leadoff walk in the 4th. Swing and a miss on an awkward swing by Jones.
Well, one thing that we've noticed about Adam Jones, we've shown the hot zone a few times for Adam, where he hits the ball really well, where he has trouble, and basically he's very good in the middle of the zone, both in and out, and middle, and not too good around the plate, and doesn't walk much. So what that says to me is that if you can throw the ball near the plate, out away from the middle of the plate, you've got a pretty good chance. See, if you look at on Tuesday, he gets a ball middle out over the plate. He's hitting 3-something. Forget what that said, 345 or 350 or something. And there's a ball middle in, right there between mid-thigh and belt. Anywhere on the plate, he's pretty good. But he doesn't want to take pitches. And if you can tantalize him around the perimeter of the zone, you should be able to get him.
Tapper to third, a rare ground ball out for DeVries. Just his 2nd ground ball out of the ballgame. On away in the 6th. If you act today, you can get a steal of a deal. The Twins host the Mariners on August 29th. For a limited time, you can get Skyline View tickets for just $14. This deal against the Mariners is only available for a limited time, and you can get it by logging on to twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS. And while you're at it, check out all the great ticket offers for more action here at Target Field in 2012. I know this has not been a very good season on the field for the Twins, but I always have kind of a gnawing bad feeling on a day like today when this is the last game the Twins will face the Orioles this year. Wieters the batter. It's a sign that the baseball season's going to leave us here down the road.
Yeah, that's it. How do you like to think about that? Why'd you bring that up?
You know, we're done playing the Angels. After today, we'll be done playing the Orioles. And then just a matter of time, we'll be done playing. Deep down the left field line and out of play. You'll be going back to your daily job, you know, up in your penthouse office, wherever it is downtown here. You're wearing your $1,200 suits.
I'm looking at it way up there on the 51st floor. Yeah. What do you mean going back to it? I do it every day anyway.
But you have a little break here at the ballpark sometime.
I do have a wonderful break at the ballpark. I love it.
Inside 2-2. DeVries now with 91 pitches on the day. And he's pitched a good ball game here today, just giving up the 1 run on the Davis home run. Tapped foul into the Twins dugout. Last game of the homestand, and I suspect that when we come back home after this next road trip, there will be hardly any signs at all that they had a big country music concert here just over a week ago. Can still see
what a good one it was.
Well,
you need to rub it in.
Yeah. 2-2 to Wieters. But there, of course, were some patches of sod that needed to be put in here. Larry DeVito and the crew, again, doing a great job. But I would imagine with a week's time on the road, the patched in areas will blend in to the rest of the turf.
Let me tell you something. This field still looks absolutely beautiful. The playing surface is immaculate. I don't want to hear any. I played at the old Met after Vikings and kicks and concerts and playing shortstop after a whole bunch of people went trampling around it.
Wieters hits one to the 4 spot with Dozier getting down into a catcher's crouch to catch the line drive. Especially after what we saw a concert did to Wrigley Field, where it looked like they had a truck and tractor pull on the outfield.
They did a really, really cool job of setting up the whole stage out in left center field. It was a gigantic stage. They had a big area for people to be around there, but they had the rubber mats.
Big fly ball to right field, and Revere trots in. And DeVries is now set down 9 men in a row through 6 innings. He's got a 3-1 lead. to the Coors Light 6th inning in the Coors Light Freeze Cam.
And a real nice play by the shortstop, Brian Dozier, going into short left field and making an over-the-shoulder basket catch. You see the good concentration, looking the ball right into his glove. That's what we can see on the Coors Light Freeze Cam. And Cole DeVries saying, wow, I'm glad he made that play.
The Frostbrew Coors Light Freeze Cam. The Twins in front 3-1. That DeVries' day is done. After 6 innings, Rick Anderson will pat him on the shoulder. Watch. Shake his hand. That's what he did. Brian Dunsing warming up in the Twins' pen.
Back to that Dozier play in short left field. Sometimes a shortstop can get fooled by a pop fly like that and get to the ball more quickly than he thought he would. I think that's what happened with Brian. And when he first went after that ball, he was thinking he would backhand it kind of over his shoulder, which is a pretty easy play. And then he got to the ball a little bit more quickly. The ball hung up, and he had to adjust and make a basket catch. It was a nice play, nice adjustment, good concentration.
1-1 to Plouffe. Swing and a miss. Plouffe drove in a run with a double in the first, but then in the fourth, some swings and misses, and Chen struck him out swinging. And another swing and a miss here. It's 1-2. Down the right field line. It'll be a long run from Markakis, and just foul. Markakis didn't come close to that ball and didn't appear to be
overly concerned about it.
He just kind of lightly jogged after it, and that there's what, 5 feet of foul territory down there.
That.
Yep. 2-2.
Well, Chen has toyed with Trevor Plouffe pretty well in the game today, throwing back and forth, meaning fastballs and changeups. Trevor, at the same time, Trevor's been working on getting the bat head out in front, so it's a little bit of bad timing for Trevor. He's wanting to get the fastball and get the bat head out in front, so he's vulnerable to the changeup. Then he's got the changeup in his mind, and then he zips that fastball in there on him.
Pulled, wicked hop, fielded by Betamit, and he throws Plouffe out 1 away. Second hop came up on the Oriole third baseman. Time for the Century Link high-speed pitch. Chen, the lefty, and DeVries, the righty.
Chen at 93, but he's done it. He's got, as we've been talking, he's got a sneaky fastball, and he's done a real good job of throwing on both sides of the plate and coming in a lot, and that makes that 93 more effective, more like 95.
Here's Doman, and there's ball 1. Doman with a strikeout in the first, and he drew a walk in the fourth. In case you're wondering, this is a live broadcast. It's a current game. It's not a replay of anything that happened last night. It was not on our original telecast schedule. We've added this telecast and some others. And basically from here on out, every game is on television. So we hope you were able to find us and stick with us on this summer afternoon. 3-0 with Dozier on deck. Strike on the inside corner. Seattle leading Kansas City 3-0. It's in the fourth inning at Kauffman Stadium. Royals winning in walk-off fashion. Last night a Billy Butler home run. There's one hit to center field. Jones is there on number 2. Twins go to Kansas City after the game here today, hoping to climb out of last place. AT&T trivia, you mentioned Dave Winfield, which was a good guess. Frank Robinson I mentioned. Let's see if they're...
Teddy Simmons maybe,
okay.
Kenny Singleton maybe.
Frank Robinson, Dave Winfield, Fred McGriff. I could have been thinking about that a long time and not gotten
I would not. I should have thought of Guerrero. I knew there was somebody else I wasn't thinking of. McGriff I would not have gotten.
But still a one part correct answer and then a second correct part. So we've got a carryover heading over into the road trip. Brian Dozier with a single his last time up. One and one to Dozier, hoping to get Casilla to the plate here in the sixth. 1-2, telling us it's 100 degrees right now in Kansas City.
You are concerned about that, aren't you?
I don't like hot weather. That's too hot for me. I'll be fine. I know you'll be concerned, but I'll be fine.
I will be concerned, but I will not be quite as taken with the whole idea as you are.
When I was much younger, when I was a teenager, we lived in Missouri for 5 years, so I know and have survived the really hot temperatures out there. Fly ball to right. Markakis will catch this one, and that ends the inning. It's a 1-2-3-6. Providing our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast this afternoon.
Second inning, first pitch he has ever seen from Cole DeVries. He deposits way back in the plaza. Right field here at Target Field.
Now he'll face left-hander Brian Dunsing, who comes out of the Twins bullpen to pick up the game in the seventh inning. Dunsing being moved back to the bullpen after a short start here against the Oakland A's. He's, in his career, been a much more effective relief pitcher than starting pitcher. That has been well documented, but then you remember that he's been a couple of times the first starting pitcher for the Twins in playoff rounds at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
Davis, Reynolds, and Flaherty. The Twins up by a pair. Ball one. Good game for Cole DeVries. One run allowed over 6 innings and a chance to pick up his third major league win. Slice foul, 1-1. Orioles go to Cleveland from here. And the Twins are hopeful of eventually putting some heat on the Indians, who are right now in third place. Another one flared foul. Oh, what a catch! A leaping left-handed catch.
That was some kind of play by that young man right there.
Didn't spill a drop.
Most importantly, watch this out of nowhere with the left hand.
He did spill a drop.
There's. I hope it was worth it.
2-2 to Davis. And right off the end of the bat, Davis checking to see if it chipped.
Chris Davis, one of the left-handed hitters on this Oriole club, that's swinging the bat pretty well against left-handed pitching. Hit 290 against left-handers coming into this at bat against Brian Dunsing.
Foul tip, but Mauer can't hang on.
Twins manager, I'm sorry, Dick. Twins manager Ron Gardenhire going with lefty Dunsing against lefty Chris Davis, right-hander Mark Reynolds, and then lefty Ryan Flaherty again. Turn over the lineup, and he's got Markakis and Tomei behind that. So left-hander on by percentages, left-handed pitcher, pretty good at this time in the ball game. But Davis pretty good. He's had a pretty good battle against Dunsing. Pretty good against left-handers.
And just off the plate, full count. Fox Tracks brought to you by Carrier. Right on the corner, according to Fox Tracks.
I think it's a problem for umpires to set up over the inside shoulder of the catcher.
Ooh, missed with the breaking ball, and it's a leadoff walk.
I think it's a problem for them to see the outside corner very well. Ought to be able to see this one sitting right over the ball right there, and that did look like it was inside. He's got a good look at that, the umpire does. But I think that's got to be just a little bit of a guess, looking past the catcher's shoulder and mask and to that outside corner.
Right down the middle of the strike. Well, they all do it. They all sit over the
Yeah, and I'm not
inside
suggesting
corner.
there's a better
Right.
way to do it. I like him sitting in there. In the old days, a lot of umpires with the big chest protectors would stand back there right over the catcher's head, and I didn't think he had any chance of seeing the low strike zone well. But you can see he'll sit over the shoulder closest to the hitter, and which I think is absolutely the right place to sit. And I think they do, for the most part, I think they do a real good job of calling balls and strikes. I think the trade-off, the one downside is, I just don't see how they can see the outside corner as well.
And when you started your career, umpires in the American League still had that inflatable balloon protector.
And so they stood up above the catcher's head, and I just thought that was ridiculous.
Inside. And I've suggested that for the umpire's safety, they ought to bring that back, and you bring it up and you talk to people, and it's like you're, trying to bring back the rotary phone or something. They'll never do it.
Never ever, please.
Well, how many times you see umpires taking one up around the collarbone? That never used to happen because their head was perched, right in the nook of that inflatable protector. Foul back.
Hey, you always have the option not to be an umpire. If you want to be an umpire, you're going to take some lumps, literally and figuratively.
1-2. Orioles got a leadoff walk in the fourth, but DeVries was able to get Davis, Reynolds, and Flaherty in quick order to get out of the inning. Now Dunsing will try to do the same. Just off the outside corner. He's missed, but not by much. He could very easily have had a couple of strikeouts by now.
Yeah, I think he's missed 3 or 4 times by a total of about 6 inches. That's a really good pitch. And again, sometimes you take a pitch just simply because you couldn't hit it, even if you were trying to protect. That's a good pitch and just outside.
Reynolds took a called third strike his last time up. And now down and in. And another full count.
And that's a pretty good take there by Reynolds. I really expected he might swing over the top of that slider. It was a pretty good pitch.
And Robertson and Alex Burnett warming up. Dunsing's walked the leadoff man on a 3-2 pitch. Now he's got a 3-2 count with Reynolds. A base hit to center. Davis to second, and he'll hold up there. So first and second, nobody out. Bottom of the Oriole lineup producing a threat here in the 7th. Cole DeVries, 6 very solid innings here today.
He pitched very, very well. Pitched all around the perimeter of the zone, like we were talking about, through a variety of pitches at a variety of speeds, and stayed out of the middle of the plate. He did a middle of the zone. Did a very, very nice job.
Meeting on the mound and maybe trying to figure out what they're going to do in the event Flaherty bunts here. Last night, late in the game, the Twins' 7th place hitter, in fact in the 9th inning, Brian Dozier popped up a bunt. Flaherty
was the one that bunted the ball when Joe Mauer made such
right.
a great diving catch.
Hitting just 198. The tying runs are aboard, so the corner infielders are up here. Squaring early. And Dancing misses. Ball 1.
In this defensive alignment here, you'll see first baseman Justin Morneau charge hard. The pitcher's job is to charge kind of in and over toward third, and the third baseman will stay back in hopes of getting the lead runner at third base. If the ball's bunted hard to third base where it should be, then the third base has got to come and get it right there. See, in that play, that's a good bunt. He's got to come and get that ball.
Good sacrifice for Flaherty, and the runners move up 1 away. So Davis at third and Reynolds at second. And Markakis will hit. He's been a singles hitting machine in this series. He's got 8 of them. And he's mixed in a couple of walks as well.
You know, the percentages say that you got to pitch to him. Left-hander against left-hander, first base open. I don't think that with 1 out you want to put him on. Pitch to J.J. Hardy with the bases loaded. Hardy, he's swinging the bat better in this series and pretty well against left-handers, and then you've got Tomey coming up after that. So I think you'd rather try to get Markakis first with your left-hander. This is why Dunsing's in the game, to get left-handers out in this inning.
And he tickles the outside corner with a breaking pitch. 1 strike. Tampa Bay beat Cleveland 6-0. Rays started the day a half game behind the Orioles. Fouled away, 2 strikes.
One thing that you might see, if Dunsing can get Markakis here, you might see Alex Burnett come in to pitch to Hardy and Tyler Robertson to Tomey if that happened to be necessary. So might use 3 pitchers and 3 hitters right here. We'll see how the inning develops.
Dunsing, 29 strikeouts on the season. Jam shot, a roller to third. Plouffe comes home. A high throw, and Mauer can't catch it. And it's a 3-2 ball game. It was not a good throw by Plouffe, but it rattled out of Mauer's glove. They would have had Chris Davis easily at the plate. And it's a 3-2 ball game.
Not a good throw by Trevor, and not one of Joe's best plays either. I think both of these plays could have been made. That needs to be a better throw. Joe looks away from it a little bit. If he catches that ball, he probably still has him. You know, Joe can catch that ball. But Trevor's got to make a better throw than that.
Error charged on Plouffe. Now they'll intentionally walk J.J. Hardy for the 2nd time in this series to get up Jim Tomey.
This is something that J.J. Hardy's going to tell his grandchildren. They walked me intentionally to get to Jim Tomey.
Twice. It worked okay the other night with Tyler Robertson striking out Tomey in the 6th inning. Now we're an inning deeper into the game. So kind of a mess of an inning with Dunsing walking the leadoff man and Reynolds getting a hit. The Orioles fundamentally execute getting the sacrifice down. The Twins don't. in the next at bat. And a quick trip to the mound by Rick Anderson with the bases loaded and Thome coming to the plate.
And Rick talking with Dunsing and Joe Mauer about how they're going to pitch to Thome. One of the things that Rick will tell Dunsing is, you know, you got a real good hitter out in Marquesas. You've got good stuff. You've got in on him. You're throwing the ball well. You can get this guy out too. So how are we going to do it?
Tuesday night it was the 6th inning, and they walked J.J. Hardy, and Tyler Robertson, the rookie, left to face the big man, and eventually he won the battle.
He did a great job against Thome. Showed him some fastballs inside, got to 3-2 and dropped a yellow hammer on him. Just a terrific pitch in a terrific spot to get the future Hall of Famer.
So it's a one-run ball game, and the bases are full of Orioles. Fouled back. The next day, Jim Thome and Ron Gardenhire had a chance to chat. That's when Gardy presented Thome with home run ball number 607. And Thome talked at length about how impressive Robertson's slider was. How it really darted away and was a very good pitch. We'll see if Dunsing can deliver a good pitch here in the 7th. 1-1. It's not just 609 home runs, it's so many clutch home runs.
Yeah, in those 609, there were not a whole lot of meaningless ones.
13 walk-off homes. 1-1. Line on one hop. Dozier goes to the bag, fires to first, a double play. Base runners, fielders, nobody was sure quite what to do there, but
except
Dozier,
for that young man right there. He played that great. Come in, short hop. He wasn't exactly sure, but he got it done.
Minnesota Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Right now, you can get 20 crispy chicken McNuggets for just $4.99 at McDonald's. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Now the strategy works again for the Twins as Thome hits a one-hopper to Dozier, who eventually got the double play.
Well, he makes a terrific play here by charging this ball. He comes in so the ball doesn't eat him up. Now he says, wait a minute, I can go home. No, it's Thome running. I can get two. And does a really good play. Good job. And a good job by Dunsing getting in on Jim Thome.
Outside to Alexi Casilla, leading off the 7th inning. Chen approaching the 100 pitch count. There's a bunt, and Chen, I've already seen him field his position well. He handles that with ease. One away. If you're hitting the road, you can take the Twins with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv and see every Twins out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. However, home territory blackout restrictions apply. Whatever that means. I think it means if you're, live across the street from Wrigley Field, you won't be able to get the Twins game. I think that's what that means. One strike to Denard Span. Held hitless today, 0 for 3. One and one. It's a one-run ball game. And the Twins never trailed in this game. It's short left. Coming in is Davis. He drops the ball. Davis came in and it bounced right out of his glove and Span's aboard. The 80th error on the year for the Orioles.
I'm not exactly sure what happens. He's got it all the way, and well, if you watch him here, watch his eyes go down. His glove gets it kind of in the way, and he just assumes he's going to catch it. He never really looks the ball into the glove.
Get him right in the thumb. Here's Revere.
I'd just like to make a distinction here for all the youngsters out there and all the little league coaches and people you hear all your life. Keep your eye on the ball. You don't really keep your eye on the ball. I think a better way to look at it is watch the ball all the way into the glove. If you watch it all the way into the glove, you got a much better chance of catching most of it. And what Chris Davis does not do is watch it into the glove. Watch it now, look away, and didn't see it all the way into the glove. And sometimes with your stride and wind currents and different things, the ball just hits you in a different spot if you're not watching all the way into the glove.
Well, that whole cliche brings back bad memories for me. I ended up with a black eye as a result of that. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
You're way too literal. Dick, you're just way too literal like that.
I was playing catch with my dad. One of the first times I ever played catch with a hard ball, and I ended up with a black eye.
That's because you kept your eye on it. I get it.
2-0 to Revere, and now Rick Adair, the pitching coach. Warming up, and again the language barrier that Tim Laudner spoke of earlier.
I was just going to ask you, what do you think he was telling him?
Throw strikes, Babe Ruth is dead, in whatever language.
Well, maybe if you say throw strikes, that's universal.
2-0 to Revere. Twins trying to cash in, as the Orioles did on the Twins there, and scoring a run in the top of this inning. 3-0 with Mauer on deck. Revere singled, stole a base, scored in the first. Since then, a strikeout and a pop-up.
Actually, what he said in the mound visit is, I'm just out here to give the relief pitcher more time to warm up. I know you have no idea what I'm saying. Go get it.
Revere obviously taking all the way, 3-1. Tapper to second. Out. They're calling Span out as he slammed on the brakes. We had a play a week or two ago where the runner ran right into the tag. At least Spann had the presence of mind to slam on the brakes here.
Yeah, if you're not going to run over the second baseman, which is what we were taught to do and what I guess I have to now call the old days, you have to do this. You have to not make it easy for him to tag you out. And that's a great play by Denard because of the guy that's running behind him. Flaherty has to make a perfect play there to get both of them. He's got to tag Denard and get the ball away cleanly. And Denard making it tough on him to make the tag first. He had to hurry the transfer to his hand because of the runner running it first and couldn't make the play.
Bauer doubled the last time he faced Chen. And he takes down and away ball one. Bauer cracked a double to the gap in right center field, hit off the fence about 7 feet up the wall. And if he can do that again or something similar, he's probably going to score Ben Revere from first base. Tapper right side. Flaherty scoops it up, fires to end the inning. So the error by Davis does not come back to haunt the Orioles, and it's a 3-2 game as they move to the eighth. Casino story of the game, and another tight ball game here today.
In the first inning, Josh Willingham drives in Ben Revere with the first run of the game, and then Trevor Plouffe hits a double down the left field line for the second run. And then Chris Davis comes up back in the second inning, hits a home run to right field off of Cole DeVries. That made it 2-1. Each team has added a run since then, and here we are, top of the eighth. It's 3-2 Twins.
Alex Burnett comes into the ball game with the Twins hopefully protecting a one-run lead. Burnett's 40th appearance of the year, and he'll face the middle of the Oriole lineup. Jones a single his first time up against Cole DeVries. Up high, ball one. Ryan Domet out of the game, and Darren Mastroianni in left field. One and 0 to Jones. Now 1-1. Burnett had that great streak out of June and into July. 16 straight scoreless innings, scoreless appearances. 1-1.
He certainly has that kind of stuff. He really does. A moving fastball, slider, developed a slow curveball.
Pop up, short center. Casilla with the catch. One away. So a dangerous hitter put away for the first out of the eighth. Vikings training camp starts next week, and FoxSportsNorth.com is getting you ready with a position preview every weekday. Read Brian Hall's analysis of the safeties right now and come back each day for more. 37,676 the paid attendance here today. Matt Wieters 0 for 3. One and 0. Orioles are pretty good in these close ball games. They won a 2-1 ball game last night, trailing here by a run. But the Orioles in 1- and 2-run games this year are 31 and 14.
That's remarkable.
So the Twins trying to do something that teams have had a tough time doing, and that is win a close ball game against the Orioles. 3-0 now to Wieters, and he takes ball 4. Burnett usually pretty good with throwing strikes, but he walks Wieters on 4. You can get a behind-the-scenes tour at Target Field. Just visit twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Check out the different types of tours in the daily schedule. Private tours are available too. So again, 1-800-33-TWINS or twinsbaseball.com. Inside to Bet A Meat. The Orioles have another thing going. If we end up going into extra innings, they've won their last 10 extra inning games. But we don't want that to happen.
No, we don't, nor does Joe Mauer. That's why he's out there on the mound talking with Alex right here, Alex Burnett. So we look at manager Buck Showalter, but good trip by Joe there. There's 5 straight balls from Alex Burnett, and Joe trying to stop that bleeding right away. Just calm him down a little bit, take a deep breath, get back in the strike zone.
2-0. Well, there was an error that allowed the second Oriole run to score in the 7th inning, but it did come after a leadoff walk to Chris Davis. Now a 1-out walk to Wieters. Bet A Meat has some pop, particularly from this side of the plate. There's a strike on the outside corner.
What managers look at, and it gets frustrating, is they know they've got it set up the way they want. There's a right-handed hitter up first. They bring in the right-hander, you pitch to him. The next guy up's left-handed, but he's only hitting .216 left-handed. So you figure the guy with Alex Burnett's stuff's going to get him out, and you can get 2 quick outs. And then so to walk the guy hitting .216 is, you know, it just puts so much more stress on an inning that you just didn't expect to have when you set up your bullpen rotation the way he had it set up.
And it might mean that Burnett will be done when he's done facing Bet A Meat. Tyler Robertson's warming up again, and in a 1-run game, Chris Davis, left-handed hitter, due up next. 2-2. Full count. Anthony Swarzak warming up. It's not Jared Burton, and that's a bit surprising. Full count. And not even close. So back-to-back walks, and the tying run now in scoring position. And now Ron Gardenhire has no choice. He's going to come out and get Burnett, who has a very disappointing outing here, retiring Jones on a little pop-up to center field, but issuing a pair of 1-out walks. So I suspect it'll be Tyler Robertson coming in to pitch to Davis. Tight ball game. Twins lost a 2-1 ball game last night. Now, right now, they're up a run.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Well, Tyler Robertson, who did such a good job here 2 nights ago in the 6th inning, striking out Jim Thome in a key spot, will come into a key spot here today in the 8th inning.
He's been very, very good against left-handed hitters, has Tyler Robertson, and with each successful outing that he has in a tight situation, like the great one against Jim Thome the other night, should give him just a little bit more confidence each time to come in and throw his good stuff where he wants to throw it and get the left-handed hitters out. This is a big out right here for him.
Davis drew a leadoff walk and scored his last time up. First and second, 1 away. Fastball in the dirt, ball 1. Much better against lefties with a high percentage of strikeouts. Now, the home run allowed was the one hit by Prince Fielder in Detroit. There's the slower breaking ball over for a strike. Significantly, I think, Roy, Robertson's had 18 at-bats with left-handers, and he's gotten 9 strikeouts, including the Thome one here 2 nights ago.
And he does it primarily with 2 speeds and angles of breaking ball. They're very, very good against left-handers.
Fastball missing the corner.
What he did so well against Thome the other night was showing a couple of fastballs in really good spots. They had to impress Jim. They might get a fastball to hit on the inside part of the plate, and then made him vulnerable to the great breaking balls that would be throwing to striking out for strikes 2 and 3.
Missing inside. Right hand hitting Mark Reynolds on deck. Three and 1 to Chris Davis. There's a strike on the inside corner.
Starts it inside, just barely comes back and clips the corner. Called by the umpire.
Davis handles left-handed pitching pretty well. Full count with runners at first and second.
We'll see how he's going to handle this breaking ball right here.
A little roller towards second to Sia from Morneau. And both runners move up. So they got the out, but a productive second out for Davis, as the tying run now is at third, the go-ahead run at second. And Reynolds will hit against Robertson, or so it appears. Anthony Swarzak is warmed up, now meeting on the mound, maybe to buy a little time, although I don't see Ron Gardenhire on the top step of the dugout. And now he's in the vicinity of the top step of the dugout. Swarzak, I think, has had plenty of time to warm up, so they're going to make the change here now with Gardenhire coming out of the dugout. And we'll have another pitching change in a tense 8th inning. They're leading by a run here, 3-2, but it's a bit of anxiety in the Twins dugout with the Orioles threatening. Runners at second and third, 2 down, and Anthony Swarzak is asked to get Mark Reynolds. Swarzak in for the 29th time. Within those appearances, 4 starts. And he, like Dunsing, has had greater success as a relief pitcher, but it's not very often we've seen Swarzak come into a 1-run ball game this late in the game. His role typically that of a long reliever, not a, well, in this case, a situational righty. There's Burnett. He walked a couple of guys. Robertson got it out. And Reynolds comes up with runners at second and third and 2 down.
And first base open. I'm sure that Ron Gartenhire told both Anthony Swarzak and got straight with Joe Mauer behind the plate that you can pitch this guy really tough. You can pitch him around the zone. If you walk him, that's okay. But he's hitting 181, as you saw, against right-handed pitching, and you can strike him out. So make good pitches, you'll get this guy.
So the move to a right-hander, understandable given the numbers that we just showed you, but that it's this right-handed reliever is a bit peculiar. Jared Burton normally might be used here, but Burton might be needed in the 9th inning along with Glenn Perkins. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. 1-0, Swarzak to Reynolds. Breaking ball for strike 1. Right-handers hitting Swarzak better than lefties. There's Burton starting to get loose. He may be the closer today instead of Glenn Perkins. To center. Span coming in. He won't make the play, and it'll score 2 runs. So Reynolds dumps a single in front of Span, and the Orioles have their first lead at 4-3. So the walks by Burnett really come back to haunt the Twins.
Fastball inside of middle a little bit. Reynolds strong enough to be able to muscle the ball into center field, score both runs. Sometimes as a manager you make moves and they just don't work, but you can't do anything about walking 2 guys in the 8th.
Here's Flaherty. Swing and a miss. See the ball. At first it looked like it might carry out to Span, but then it landed about 8 feet in front of him.
Yeah, Denard did not get a very good jump on the ball. His first move was a kind of stutter step backwards. It looked like he was protecting against the ball. Big swing from Reynolds over his head.
2 strikes to Flaherty. The Orioles, who got one in the 7th, the Twins gave them that run and threatened to do more damage. Take advantage of Burnett's control issues here. Chen all smiles, as you might expect. Burnett with a different demeanor. Fouled away by Flaherty. Flaherty dropped down a sacrifice in the 7th inning. Hooked to the corner. And a foul ball. Again, that 5 feet roughly of foul territory, and it tends to swallow up an awful lot of line drives, it seems like.
Just foul. But you know, I mean, there's as much foul territory here as there is anywhere. It just there's stands in the way, but closer than
that's true.
You know, I mean, a foul ball is a foul.
That's true.
It's just when the ball lands foul in the ballpark, it's kind of surprising.
That part of the warning track tends to get more activity for some reason.
For some reason, it really does.
2 strikes to Flaherty. And a fastball puts him away. But the Orioles get a big 2-out hit and a couple of runs to take their first lead.
Not a good turn of events for the Twins in the top half of that 8th inning as they trail 4-3. Win or lose, we've got our post-game show coming your direction right here on Fox Sports North. Keep it tuned here for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll talk about Cole DeVries and his nice bounce-back outing. 6 good innings for Cole DeVries. 5 hits, surrenders just 1 run, the home run to Chris Davis early in the ballgame. Ron Gardenhire and his post-game comments are coming your way. We'll talk about his frustration in that 8th inning. And the instructional today, we've got a pretty good one coming your way. It's talking about throwing base runners out at third base with Roy Smalley and Tim Lundner. Roy Smalley, you did make a point earlier about Josh Willingham when he was batting as Ben Revere was stealing a base, and you like the way Willingham handled that as a right-handed batter. So we'll talk about the instructional of the art of throwing runners out at third base that are trying to steal.
This is what Robbie and we are going to be talking about. Wieters going behind the batter, Josh Willingham, showing good footwork, throwing the ball right on the bag, literally. Third baseman wasn't able to catch that ball and put the tag on Ben Revere, or had he been able to, Revere would have been out. Terrific play by Wieters, and our Timmy Laudner will show you that footwork behind the plate to throw out runners at third base.
Darren O'Day coming in to pitch to the Twins here in the 8th inning with Baltimore now up a run. He'll face Willingham, Morneau, and Plouffe. Baltimore bullpen has been very good. The other night, Tuesday night, or Monday night, the first game of this series, Oriole bullpen didn't have a good night at all. O'Day gave up 3 runs, 4 hits in 1 inning. Jim Johnson gave up 5 earned runs in a third of an inning. Johnson recovered to get the save last night. Now Buck Showalter banking on O'Day, distancing himself from his outing here on Monday with a hold. Andy Chavez, the new left fielder for the Orioles. In the 6th inning here the other night, O'Day gave up hits to the first 3 batters he faced, Willingham, Morneau, and Plouffe, and they are the first 3 batters he will face here in the 8th. All 3 runners scored on Monday night. 1 and 2. Willingham singled. Morneau doubled him in with a drive to the gap. And then Plouffe singled. Doment with a sacrifice fly. Carroll singled. 1-2 to the Twins' designated hitter. Down and away, 2-2. As the DH, Willingham has an RBI single and a couple of outfield flies. Three and two.
Josh is going to be looking for the ball where he wants it here. 3-2. Middle of the plate to end. Low preferable.
Drilled but hooking foul. Got a breaking pitch and he just kind of hung right over the middle of the plate.
This is a pitch Josh would like to have back. He hit it pretty hard, but he's just out in front of it just a little bit.
Fastball fouled back.
There's a good protect right there. Pretty good pitch coming from the side, throwing it out over the outside part of the plate. Not where Josh's favorite spot is, and it does a good job of fouling that ball off. Keep him alive for another potential ball closer to the inside and middle.
Willingham leads the team with 49 walks. Popped it up and it's backing out of play. Well, on this team, if you draw more walks than Joe Mauer, that must mean you've got a pretty good eye at the plate or are being pitched to very carefully. And I think in Willingham's case, both are true.
Both are true. That's absolutely right.
Mauer with 46 walks and about the same number of at-bats.
And I will say it again, the thing about Josh is he generally really waits to get his pitch. That's why he's successful. He doesn't get himself out too often by swinging at pitchers' pitches until he gets to 2 strikes. When he gets a ball he can handle, he generally hammers it. When it's not where he wants it, he generally takes it.
4 2-strike fouls for Willingham. And another 3-2 pitch coming. And he missed badly. Walk number 50 for Willingham, and the tying runs aboard.
That's so impressive. That's a great example of what we're talking about with Josh. For a power hitter to be able to fight off tough pitches like he just did, pitches that he would rather not have to put in play, you just don't see that very often. You don't see a power hitter, as we were talking earlier, number one, not go through a rather extended down streak or slump, and number two, a guy that's able to fight off pitches that aren't the ones he wants.
Justin Morneau will have another opportunity against Troy Patton when we come back. leadoff man on in the bottom of the 8th inning. You can see Willingham with 50 walks, one more than Mauer now. So his on-base percentage very good for a power hitter. On-base percentage of right around 400. Troy Patton came into the ballgame last night. Ended up intentionally walking Willingham to pitch to Morneau in a key spot. He got Morneau on a ground ball to Hardy. And now Morneau gets a second crack at the only lefty in the Oriole bullpen.
And he got him on the inside part of the plate, so we'll see what he's looking for and how he's going to pitch it.
Bases were loaded, 2 outs in the 8th. The Twins down and by a run. And a breaking pitch hit right off the end of the bat. And Hardy skipped over to his left to throw him out. Morneau gets a fastball and taps it up the line foul.
Just like that, last night he pitched him in, and then got him out in front, looking for the ball in, and got him with that breaking ball. So we'll see how he pitches him and what Justin thinks he's going to get, and what he's looking for.
1-1. Wieters was set up down and away, and the pitch came up and in, and Morneau went after it. That was nowhere near where Wieters wanted Patton to throw the ball. Look at that. He had to reach 3 feet from where he originally set up. 1-2 to Morneau. Ripped to right. And Willingham goes to second. Morneau's gotten some hits against lefties, but this one was punished. He hit that ball right on the button.
He really did. And, you know, again, pitch selection and location, I don't understand. After swinging at that ball up and in, he got him out last time with a breaking ball. Now he throws him a fastball right down the middle. I just don't understand selection sometimes. I can understand missing location because he missed location so badly the pitch before. He doesn't have real good command maybe, but I don't understand that selection when you get him out with the night before with breaking balls.
And a line drive base hit to right against Patton. First and second, nobody out. Pedro Strop comes in for the second time in this series. He pitched here 2 nights ago. Gave up 2 hits and a walk to the first 3 guys he faced, and then he got the next 4 batters.
We can see the great ERA there. The opponent's batting average jumps out 197. That has to do with the 97, 98 mile an hour fastball that he can feature.
Strop, when he came in 2 nights ago, let all the inherited runners score, and the Twins are hoping they can get at least 1 across here in the 8th. First and second, nobody out.
Well, Trevor Plouffe is going to have to dial it up here. He's going to see 97 miles an hour worth of fastball, and he's got to make the ball be down. no higher than belt high, lower than that.
Corner infielders are playing in here.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to back.
Well, 19 home runs.
Right. And where they are in the lineup, Gardy's got to take his chances with Trevor driving into it.
Now, Benameet and Reynolds retreat. 1-0 to Plouffe. Breaking ball over for a strike. Plouffe saw Strop. Leaders going out. Maybe they were crossed up. It looked like the catcher flinched a little bit on the breaking ball. Watch Wieters here as he receives the pitch.
Definitely a cross up. Yep.
1-1 to Plouffe. Plouffe grounded out against Strop here 2 nights ago to short. Tap foul. Steve Little knocks it down. 1-2. We had a very rapidly paced going until the top of the 7th. Now we've seen 8 different pitchers, a couple of errors, 5 walks, 9 3-ball counts, and a lead change. That's the most important thing.
Looking for another one.
Tapped foul again. Plouffe getting a lot of breaking stuff here.
Well, it's tough when you've got fastball. When you're hitting against a fastball of this velocity, and then he's got that slider. It is tough to hit both of them. You got to battle as best you can here, especially with 2 strikes.
A high fly down the left field line, chased by Benameet. And he makes the catch. So a foul out for the first out of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Darren Mastroianni. Remember, Mastroianni entered the game defensively for Doman in the top half of this inning. While the Twins would rather have Doman hitting in this spot, you can understand why the move was made. Doman not almost a stranger out there in left field, and Twins trying to protect a 1-run lead made the move. Now Mastroianni hoping to get a big hit here. Chopper to short. He's going to have a hard time staying out of a double play. And he stays out of the double play. Willingham to third. Mastroianni reaching first. And there'll be runners in the corners with 2 out.
Taking nothing away from Mastroianni or saying that Gardy wouldn't want Brian Dozier hitting this situation right here. But as we look at a 2-hopper that they don't turn too badly, but Darren Mastroianni really gets down the line well. He gets out of the box quickly, and he really runs well. And he prides himself on not hitting the double plays. But the Twins having to carry 13 pitchers because of the ineffectiveness of the starters has really hamstrung Ron Gardner. He needs one more hitter on the bench that can come off the bench, and if you have to take Doman out of the game, then have somebody else that can come back and get a base hit for you off the bench if you choose. And he just doesn't have that. And again, taking nothing away from Dozier here, he might not have pinch hit for Dozier anyway. He might have for Mastroianni, but it sure would be nice in the manager's mind to have another hitter on the bench that he could go to if he wanted to. 1
strike to Dozier. Foul back, 2 strikes. The bench players left with Mastroianni brought into the game are Drew Butera and Jamie Carroll. So now 2 strikes. Dozier in a tough spot trying to get Willingham in from third to tie the ball game up here in the 8th.
Well, this guy could throw a slider to the screen.
There's a little dribbler.
Stay fair. Stay fair. Stay fair.
And he'll roll foul. Had that stayed on the grass, it would have tied the game, but it caught the edge and then rolled across the foul line.
You're exactly right. It gets right on the edge of that grass with a little side spin, and that kicked it left.
Ham has to jump over the ball. So Dozier nearly got a scratch game-tying single, but now he'll get back in the box again with an 0-2 count. To center, Jones coming in, makes the catch. Got a great jump on a little flare to center, and the Twins leave Willingham at third. Still 4-3.
We're in the top of the ninth here at Target Field. Baltimore on top 4-3. Twins mounted a rally in the bottom of the eighth, fell just short of being able to push across the tying run. Anthony Swarzak will try to hold the Orioles right here on the top of the ninth, give the Twins a chance to pull one out in the bottom of the inning.
Markakis came up in a key spot in the seventh inning, and the Twins didn't execute to the play. Markakis hit a little number to Plouffe, who threw home to get a runner, but the throw was high. Mauer didn't handle it, and the Orioles got an important second run. And Markakis reached on a fielder's choice and went to second on the air charge to Plouffe. A strike, now a ball. No activity in the Twins bullpen. And I'll be interested if Ron Gardenhire is asked in his post-game comments about the status of the bullpen, with neither Perkins, who pitched last night, Burton, who saved the game here Tuesday, and neither one even warming up here today. Fouled away. Burton threw just 13 pitches and picking up the save. Perkins pitched Tuesday in that game in front of Jared Burton. And then Perkins pitched the ninth inning last night. High fastball on one of the rare poor swings by Markakis, who looks at that right hand after he swings and misses as if that right hand is still giving him some trouble.
And it will for a while, although you wouldn't know it by the series he's had against the Twins. But this kind of jerk on the swing right there on his bottom hand, it's the hook of the hamate is right in the lower palm of the hand, and the effects of that is to feel like not only does it hurt there, but all the way down your wrist, like you've got a very, very badly sprained wrist. The tendons in the forearm come up and attach to the little hook of the hamate bone right in the lower palm of your hand. And that injury is when a hitter down on the end of the knob of the bat will swing. The knob of the bat presses up and cracks or chips off that little hook above where the tendons attach into that bone. And it's hard to diagnose and really difficult to recover from. It takes a while.
1-2 to Hardy.
A lot of baseball players get that injury. Some golfers do. That I understand that the doctor that operated on mine said carpenters swinging a hammer a lot will periodically. It's all the same kind of motion, isn't it? Some kind of stick pressing up with big force into a vulnerable little bone in your hand.
Ball, third strikeout, number 2. Or as I can attest, clumsy outfielders in a church softball game.
Or yes, you can trip and fall down and bang it on a rock. I guess
right. It can happen a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to be through repetition or anything like that. 2 down, and here's Jim Thome.
Well, that's not repetition so much as it is just the knob of some kind of stick instrument like a bat or a golf club pressing up just the right amount of force right on that spot.
Well, we were talking about that in the Oakland series with Yoenis Cespedes having some irritation in that area, and the A's tried to get him to change the grip on his bat to get up off the knob of the bat to keep that area from being impacted by the knob of the bat. 2 strikes to Thome. Swarzak gave up the big 2-run single to Reynolds, and he's struck out everybody else since.
Wow.
4 strikeouts finishing off the 9th inning. And we'll see if the Twins have some heroics in mind for the bottom of the 9th. Mark Reynolds, the first baseman for the Orioles. His numbers would suggest he hasn't had many bigger hits than the one he got in the 8th inning. He's the Jimmy John's delivery of the game.
And he just muscles a high inside fastball from Anthony Swarzak into center field to drive in the tying and go-ahead runs for the Orioles in the top of the 8th. And that's where we stand. That's the Jimmy John's delivery of the game so far. So far. Maybe we'll get another delivery here at the bottom of the 9th.
Well, they'll have to do it against Jim Johnson, who got roughed up here on Monday night. Came back last night to get the save. He did give up a leadoff single to Trevor Plouffe in the 9th inning, but then the Twins kind of fell apart. Dozier popped up a bunt, and the Twins never really seriously threatened to score after the leadoff single. It'll be Casilla leading things off in the top of the order. The Twins would love to, at the very least, get Bauer up here against Johnson. Casilla, Span, and Revere. Ball one, talking to Joe Angel. Of course, did some radio here with the Twins back in the mid-'80s. He's been a radio announcer for the Orioles for quite a few years. And he was saying, you know, we used to have a really good bullpen. Then the starters didn't do so well. Now our bullpen isn't as good as it used to be. And of course, I just nodded in agreement. That's what the Twins have gone through this year. The bullpen is its most effective when the starters can set them up properly. Casilla cracks it foul 1 and 2. And what the Orioles went through here in the opening game of this series, a very short start, well, the Twins have had to deal with that on a regular basis all year long. 1 and 2. Casilla would love to get aboard here to start the 9th inning. That hits Casilla in the box. Foul ball. Casilla entered the game as a pinch runner after Plouffe's single. And Dozier popped his bunt up. Dolman pulled one to the right side. Casilla held up instead of trying to get ahead of the ground ball. This one chopped to the right side. Johnson fields it. Struggles with it momentarily, but finds it and flips to Reynolds, one away. And that'll bring up Span. Looking for his first hit. He reached on a Chris Davis error in left field in the 7th. Span's had a good homestand in terms of collecting hits. Though in his last 6 at bats. One strike. Now a ball.
Tough to get anything going against a closer with Jim Johnson's kind of stuff, a combination of good stuff and around the plate all the time.
2-1.
He doesn't get wild very often. Doesn't give you a lot of 2-0 and 3-1 counts to work with, so you never really know what's coming. His fastball 93 to 95 with movement.
He gave up 5 earned runs here the other night. He'd only given up 6 all year long. There's a drive to left, and Chavez back a few steps for out number 2. So the Twins almost did in 1 inning what the rest of Major Leagues had done all year long against Johnson.
And we've seen it a lot of times with different pitchers at the 8th and 9th inning guys. They get in a non-save or a less than adrenaline pumping situation. They just aren't the same guys.
Revere trying to keep the game alive with Mauer on deck. Strike 1 to Revere. Revere singled in the 1st inning. Backhanded by Hardy. And the Orioles end up with a split of this 4-game series, and they now incredibly are 32 and 14 in 1- and 2-run games. And Marnie Geller, they're 18 and 6 in 1-run games, and they pick up a couple of 1-run wins here against the Twins.
An impressive comeback by the Orioles this afternoon, but a disappointing finish for the Twins. Tim Ladner will be joining me in just a moment. We will break this game down, look at the start from Cole DeVries, and our instructional tonight, throwing out base stealers, especially the third.